We say elections are a domestic affair. Technically, yes, they are. But the results can reshape international politics. You just saw what's happening in the Philippines. Their new leader is pro-China. Later this month, Australia is also voting. Opinion polls say the Labour Party is winning, which means the China hawk, Scott Morrison, could be voted out of power. Well, that's 1 month, 2 elections, and possibly 2 wins for China. Beijing senses that the tide is changing. First, the war in Ukraine, now the election of pro-China leaders in the neighborhood. This could be their opportunity to gain some momentum. And that's what China's vice foreign minister did. His target was the Quad. Beijing is accusing the US of creating exclusive groups against them. Listen to what they said. If this is not an Asia-Pacific version of NATO's eastward expansion, then what is? Such a strategy, if left unchecked, would bring horrible consequences and push the Asia-Pacific over the edge of an abyss. Strong words there, quite dramatic too. He's talking about checking the rise of the Quad. How does China plan to do that? One strategy is by creating choke points, basically Chinese ports and presence across the Indo-Pacific. It's already a big network. The Solomon Islands, Malaysia, Indonesia, Hambantota in Sri Lanka, Gwadar in Pakistan, Djibouti in Eastern Africa. These are all Chinese choke points. On paper, they're Chinese investment projects. In reality, they have dual use. So what do these choke points achieve? A, they boost Chinese surveillance, and B, they expand China's blue water capabilities. What does that mean? Blue water capabilities refers to a navy's ability to sail far from home. Like the US Navy, their warships sail all over the world. Before them, Britain did the same. You see, naval power is key to global domination. And China's naval power is suspect. Their carriers are clunky. Their submarines are too loud. So the PLA Navy is still a work in progress. Having said that, the gap is closing and closing fast. With compliant leaders, China could dominate the Indo-Pacific. Which is why the domestic politics is so important. The Philippines will have a pro-China leader. Australia could have an indifferent leader. And South Korea will soon have a China hawk. Beijing is looking to take advantage of this period. On Monday, they wrapped up a military drill near Taiwan. Bombers and anti-submarine aircraft were used. Last week, 18 Chinese jets entered Taiwan's air defense zone. This is the backdrop for the upcoming Quad summit. A world focused on Ukraine, an Indo-Pacific going through a political churn, and a China looking to take advantage. How should the Quad respond to this? In 2 ways. One, reaffirm the commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. We get tired of hearing it every time, but that's what sets the Quad apart from China. The open and free ideology. The Quad must emphasize that this ideology is not affected by domestic politics. It is part of the national character of each member state. And 2, challenge China's choke points. How did China get so many assets across the Indo-Pacific? Because the alliance of democracies looked the other way. China trapped smaller nations in debt traps. When they could not repay, China took over strategic assets. The Quad must offer a solution to this problem. Perhaps they can start with Sri Lanka. If you want to beat China, you must offer alternatives. Not just political, but financial too. I'm talking about cheaper loans, transparent investments, resilient supply chains. To beat China, you need to beat their system. If not, more Indo-Pacific nations could slip into their hold. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.